Happy Days gave us the Fonz, taught us what cool meant, and made us all wish we could hang out at Arnold's Drive-In. For 11 seasons, it was America's favorite trip back to the 1950s, complete with leather jackets, jukeboxes, and that iconic snap that could make any broken machine work again.
Happy Days is filmed before a live audience.
Happy Days.
But here's what most people don't realize. Behind the wholesome facade and feel-good nostalgia, Happy Days was hiding some genuinely surprising secrets. From a cast member who literally jumped over a shark before the phrase even existed, to behind-the-scenes drama that would shock fans. The real story of Happy Days is far more interesting than anything that happened at Arnold's. Today, we're uncovering 20 verified weird facts about Happy Days that will completely change how you see the Cunningham family forever. And trust me, fact number 8 will blow your mind. It involves the most famous phrase in television history. So grab a milkshake, put on your Letterman jacket, and let's dive into the strange, wild, and absolutely fascinating verified stories behind one of TV's most beloved shows. Number 20. The show started as a segment on love. American-style Happy Days didn't begin as its own show. It started as a segment called Love and the Happy Days on the anthology series Love, American Style in 1972. Ron Howard and Marion Ross played the same characters. But the segment was so popular, ABC decided to turn it into a full series 2 years later. The original segment was much more focused on nostalgia and family values, with no Fonzie character at all. It was essentially a completely different show that just happened to share the same name and some cast members. Number 19. Henry Winkler was genuinely afraid of water. The Fonz was supposed to be the coolest guy alive, but Henry Winkler had a real phobia. He was terrified of water and couldn't swim. During the famous water skiing episode that gave us Jumping the Shark, Winkler was genuinely scared and had to wear a life vest under his leather jacket. Most of the water skiing scene was filmed using stunt doubles, with Winkler only appearing in close-up shots on a stationary platform. His fear was so well known on set, the crew nicknamed him the Fonz who couldn't float. Number 18. The Fonzie character was only supposed to appear in one episode. Arthur Fonzie. Fonzarelli was originally written as a minor character, appearing in just one episode. He was meant to be a small-time hood who would threaten Richie and then disappear forever. But Henry Winkler's charismatic performance was so compelling, producers kept bringing him back. By the third season, the Fonz had become the show's breakout star, and the opening credits were changed to feature him prominently. What started as a one-episode villain that became television's most iconic cool guy. Number 17. ABC initially banned the leather jacket. Network executives were terrified that the Fonz's leather jacket made him look like a juvenile delinquent. ABC's standards department initially banned the jacket entirely, fearing it would promote rebellious behavior among young viewers. The compromise? Fonzie could only wear the jacket when he was near his motorcycle, since it was considered safety equipment. That's why in early episodes you'll see him constantly taking the jacket on and off. Once the character became popular, the rule was quietly abandoned. Number 16. Chuck Cunningham vanished without explanation. In one of television's most famous mysteries, Richie's older brother Chuck simply disappeared after the first season. The character was played by Gavin O'Herlihy in the pilot and then by Randolph Roberts in a few early episodes before vanishing completely. No explanation was ever given. The family never mentioned him again, and it was as if he had never existed. This became known as Chuck Cunningham syndrome, when a character disappears from a show without any acknowledgement. Number 15. The famous jukebox snap was Henry Winkler's idea. The iconic moment where Fonzie hits the jukebox to make it play, that wasn't in the script. Henry Winkler suggested it during rehearsals, thinking it would be a cool way to show the Fonz's magical touch with machines. The prop department rigged the jukebox with a remote control so it would start playing when he hit it. The timing had to be perfect, and it took several takes to get the snap synchronized with the music. The scene became so popular, it was repeated throughout the series. Number 14. Ron Howard directed episodes to launch his career. Ron Howard negotiated a unique deal, allowing him to direct episodes of Happy Days in exchange for staying on the show. This was unusual for such a young actor, but Howard was already interested in moving behind the camera. His directing work on Happy Days led directly to his film career, with Roger Corman hiring him to direct Grand Theft Auto based on his TV work. That movie launched Howard's directing career, which would eventually include Apollo 13 and A Beautiful Mind. Number 13. The show created the phrase, jumping the shark. The term jumping the shark comes directly from a Happy Days episode, where Fonzie literally water skis over a shark. The episode aired September 20th, 1977, and was widely considered the moment when the show had gone too far. TV critic John Hein later popularized the phrase to describe the moment a TV show passes its peak. Ironically, Happy Days created the phrase used to describe its own decline. Number 12. Erin Moran was only 14 when the show started. Erin Moran, who played Joni Cunningham, was just 14 years old when Happy Days premiered. She was significantly younger than the rest of the main cast, which meant the production had to work around child labor laws. She had tutors on set and could only work limited hours. Viewers literally watched her grow up on screen, from a teenager to 25 by the series' end. Number 11. The Fonz's leather jacket is in the Smithsonian. Henry Winkler's iconic leather jacket became so culturally significant, it's now permanently displayed in the Smithsonian's National Museum of American History. It was donated in 1980 while the show was still on air. Curators recognized that the Fonz had become a true part of American pop culture. Number 10. Marion Ross improvised. Mrs. C's motherly warmth. Many of Mrs. Cunningham's most memorable moments weren't scripted. Marion Ross often improvised, fussing over the kids, straightening their clothes, offering food. She drew from her own life as a mother, creating genuine, unscripted moments that the producers kept in the final cut. Before we dive into our top 10 weirdest facts, if you're enjoying these verified behind-the-scenes secrets from Happy Days, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us uncover more fascinating true stories from classic TV shows. All right, let's get back to our countdown, because the top 10 facts are absolutely wild. Number 9. The show launched 7 different spin-offs. Happy Days spawned an incredible 7 spin-offs, more than almost any other sitcom in TV history. The successful ones included Laverne and Shirley and Mork and Mindy. But there were also Joni Loves Chachi, Blansky's Beauties, Out of the Blue, and 2 animated series. Most of these spin-offs failed quickly. Blansky's Beauties lasted only 13 episodes, and Out of the Blue managed just 9. The animated series The Fonz and the Happy Days Gang, it featured the characters traveling through time, which made no logical sense, but somehow still got produced. Number 8. Robin Williams made his breakthrough on Happy Days. Robin Williams made his breakthrough television appearance playing Mork, an alien from the planet Ork. The 1978 episode My Favorite Orkin was so popular, it launched the spin-off series Mork and Mindy. Williams improvised most of his dialogue, leaving the cast struggling not to break character during filming. His manic, unpredictable energy felt so out of place for Happy Days that it truly seemed like he was from another planet. Which, of course, was the point. Number 7. Tom Bosley was a Broadway star before playing Mr. C. Before becoming America's favorite TV dad, Tom Bosley was a Tony Award-winning Broadway star. He won the Tony for Best Featured Actor in a Musical in 1960 for playing New York Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia in Fiorello. Bosley's stage background gave Mr. Cunningham a polish and timing that set him apart from the typical sitcom dad of the era. Number 6. The Arnold's drive-in set was incredibly detailed. Arnold's wasn't just a TV set, it was a fully functional, period-accurate diner. The designers researched real 1950s diners, getting every detail right, from the upholstery in the booths to the menu items to the working jukebox. The jukebox was even stocked with real records from the era. And yes, the kitchen could actually cook food. That authenticity helped the cast feel like they were really in a 1950s hangout, which translated into more natural performances. Number 5. Henry Winkler couldn't actually ride a motorcycle. Despite being famous for his motorcycle riding character, Henry Winkler had never ridden a motorcycle before the show. He was nervous around the bike and had to take lessons during the first season. For many scenes, the motorcycle was pushed by crew members or towed by a truck just out of camera range. The engine sounds? Often added later in post-production because Winkler couldn't reliably start or rev the bike on cue. Number 4. The theme song changed completely after Season 2. The original Happy Days theme song was an instrumental, nothing like the Sunday, Monday Happy Days version we all know. The vocal theme was introduced in Season 3 in 1975. Producers wanted something more upbeat and rock and roll to match the new focus on the Fonz. That song became one of TV's most recognizable themes, and still sparks nostalgia decades later. Number 3. Anson Williams became a successful director. Anson Williams, who played Potsy Weber, went on to direct episodes of Melrose Place, Beverly Hills 90210, and Sabrina the Teenage Witch. He also directed several TV movies, earning a reputation for working well with young actors. It was one of the most successful career pivots by any Happy Days cast member. Number 2. The show was filmed at Paramount Studios, where many classics were made. Happy Days was filmed at Paramount Studios in Hollywood, the same lot where Sunset Boulevard and The Godfather were made. Arnold's Drive-In was built on Stage 19, which had hosted major motion pictures before it became the Fonz's hangout. It wasn't unusual for the cast to bump into movie stars filming next door, creating surreal moments of 1950s costume TV actors walking past gritty contemporary movie sets. Number 1. The show ran for 11 seasons and 255 episodes. From 1974 to 1984, Happy Days aired 255 episodes over 11 seasons. It was one of the longest-running sitcoms of its time, outlasting most of its contemporaries and even some of its own spin-offs. The show bridged two very different eras of television, starting in the three-network age and ending as cable was taking over. 20 verified weird facts that prove Happy Days was far more interesting behind the scenes than most people ever realized. From Broadway stars becoming TV dads, to water-phobic actors conquering their fears. The real stories behind America's favorite nostalgic sitcom were often more compelling than the episodes themselves. What's most remarkable? How these behind-the-scenes challenges actually made the show better. Henry Winkler's motorcycle fears made the Fonz more human. The detailed sets created authentic performances, and the cast's diverse backgrounds brought an energy that made the ensemble work. These facts remind us, great television isn't about perfection. It's about talented people solving problems and creating something unforgettable in the process. So, which fact surprised you the most? Did you know the Fonz's leather jacket was almost banned? Or that Robin Williams got his big break playing an alien on a 1950s nostalgia show? Let us know in the comments. We love hearing your reactions. And if you enjoyed this fact-check deep dive into Happy Days, hit that like button, subscribe, and join us for more verified stories from classic television. Because the truth behind your favorite shows is always more interesting than fiction.